Denver could be getting a new scooter vendor, and the way that council members review contracts could change. Here's what happened this week on The Gavel, your weekly Denver City Council wrap-up. The shared bike and scooter program could be changing. On Wednesday, the Transportation Committee postponed a contract with Veo, who could supply electric scooters and bikes throughout the city. Veo was selected after meeting with community groups and a survey of over 2,500 people who previously used shared bikes and scooters. The company will have to comply with new rules passed by the council, including riding in the street and not the sidewalk, and they'll have to be parked in mandatory parking zones. Veo also had lower prices and paid more to its employees.
I think what we have here is a very clear service level agreement with Veo that if they drop below certain standards, there's requirements on things they have to do to fix them, and if they can't, we have the option to bring in another operator to have that two-operator market if Veo isn't able to deliver. We've looked at their finances, we've looked at their business model, we're confident that they're able to do that, but we've thought through these contingencies to make sure that if something does happen, we're not losing any level of service for the community.
There will continue to be a free ride access program. Instead of 3 free rides per day, the new income qualified program gives riders 60 minutes a day for free. If you're already in the program, you won't have to reapply. This item will be back to the Transportation Committee on April 1st. Rules about council's approval of contracts could change. On Tuesday, the Governance Committee sent to the full council a change in timing for when council members get contracts for review. Council has the power to approve or reject contracts of $500,000 or more, and any sale or lease of city property. Currently, contracts aren't distributed until the Thursday before the Monday legislative meeting. Some council members are finding that it's not enough time to review what's in the contract. The proposed change would have a draft of a contract available when it first comes to a committee. This would allow for committee members to determine if it's ready to be submitted to the full council for approval. If this is approved by council, it wouldn't go into effect immediately.
We've added an effective date of 10 weeks beyond the passage of the new rule to give agencies time to adjust their workflow. Otherwise, if it were effective immediately, any contracts that are coming to us now would necessarily be held up. And then we would face a logjam in all of our committees.
The Safety Committee sent the $150,000 one-year contract for automated license plate readers to the full council on Wednesday. It was delayed last week so council members could look at the full contract language. Axon would place 50 automated license plate reader cameras throughout the city, although the exact location isn't yet known. Some committee members wanted more clear guidelines on how the Denver Police Department will handle data security.
The DPD Cyber Bureau worked hand in hand with technology services to understand the scope of the breach and the nature of it. And then we would also be working with the vendor, city attorney's office very quickly. I know the city has an existing framework for how to respond to those kind of cyber incidents. So a lot of it would depend upon the nature and scope of the breach, and we would have to address it at that time.
There's a lot of various types of activities and mitigation that's going to be occurring if a breach does occur. So 48 hours is very much in alignment with industry standards for breach reporting. I'll also note when we look at the Colorado requirements, those requirements are a 30-day requirement for reporting. So we're much more restrictive than it is from a Colorado law perspective.
There will be a 1-hour courtesy public hearing when it goes to the council floor on Monday, March 23rd. You can find links to City Council meeting schedules, agendas, events, and news at denvergov.org/citycouncil. Denver City Council meets every Monday at 3:30 at the City and County Building Council Chambers, or tune in live on Denver 8 or Zoom. Be sure to follow us on X, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram for Denver news, events, and information.